Hey everybody, it's Christy from Hidden Premise Travel. Today with some tips. And today it's going to be bags, bags, and more bags. And I'm going to talk about luggage as well, but I'm going to start with smaller bags and kind of work our way up into larger bags. So I'm going to show you different kinds of bags that I own, and I'll even tell you the brands that I own and why, if I know why. Uh, some of these bags you're going to see are very well loved because I've had them for years upon years upon years. And so, anyway, and I should say there are so many kinds of bags out there to use, but these are the ones that I have used and I love them for a reason. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, I'm going to start with my smallest bag. This is a 31 bag, and I've had this for several years, but this is my makeup bag. This is the bag that I put all my makeup in when I travel just to kind of keep it separated. Just a little bag like this. I like that. This is another toiletry bag that I use, and this one is by Samsonite. Sorry. I like this. This is kind of a catch-all. It's the perfect size for holding my medicine sorter because I'm one of those that has the weekly thing. I love the little side pouches here on this side as well that I can use. Now this one opens up. I can get it unzipped all the way. And as you can see, it has this mesh inside as well. I don't use this as much. It's just not, for me, it's just not a necessity for this. I want this big empty thing. And it even holds a full size electric toothbrush, which I like. So it can hold that, it's good for your toiletries. So it's probably one of my favorites, again, well loved. And I have a few other toiletry bags that I use as well, but I will show those on a different video when I'm talking about packing carry-on specifically. Um, Next, I want to talk about foldable bags. So I have this one. It's really small. As you can see, it's shopaholic. I do love to shop when I'm on vacation. And inevitably what happens is you start shopping and you buy more than you plan on, and then you have to carry all these. And if you the country law or even certain states right here in the US, they do not give you bags anymore, or they charge you. And if you're like me, you're cheap. So this bag is a shopping bag. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unzip it to give you an idea of how big it is. So you can see, very cute little bag. It's a good tote bag. It does zip across the top, which I think is so important. So people are not, reaching in and trying to take all those lovely little things you bought. You saw the size of it before I unpacked it. It does not take up a lot of luggage room, which is great. Now, we have another foldable bag. I have this brand over here. You've probably seen ads for it before called the Foldy. This is the size of it when it is all folded up. As you can see, it's a pretty sturdy size bag. It does take up some space in your suitcase. So I want to stress that. But it's great for when you are like me and you buy maybe just one too many things and now your suitcase is kind of going too big. And so here's my other folding. I have two. Because when I bought these, they were running a buy one, get one free special, I think. They probably do that all the time, honestly. They have lots of colors. Okay. So you're like, you bought plain black and gray. I did, and I will tell you why. And this one, my other one that I showed you, this was a present. I didn't buy this for myself. If I had, it would probably also be in this color scheme as well. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. So after you unpack it, you have a zipper pocket here in the front. You have a little small one here in the back. And when you leave it this size, it will fit underneath the seat in front of you on an airplane. But if you're like me and you just bought one too many things, this bottom unzips. You can see. And now I have actually added more space and I have made it bigger. Okay, now this it's not going to fit under your airplane seat, but it'll go into that overhead bin. The other thing that I love is it has one of these. So I will show big luggage here in a little bit, but this fits wonderfully sitting on top of your suitcase because you can just slide this over, the arm, basically the handle. I can't talk to the thing. Anyway, I like the foldy. It's also really good if you are going somewhere like a beach to hold wet things. Okay, 'cause it's gonna hold in the wet, like towels, bathing suits, snorkel masks, fins, all those sorts of things. So really like my foldy. Now, why I don't buy the bright colors, and I love bright colors. Okay, if you see behind me, I have lots of colors behind me. I love those. But if I am carrying this around outside, black, gray, those kind of muted colors, beige, they're not as obvious to the eye of a would-be thief. That is really why I have colors like this. It's just a little less obvious to the eye. So those are my foldable travel bags that I think are just a must, y'all. I have had to buy a suitcase on a vacation before because I bought too many things. So these are great because then I can put them in there and it becomes an extra carry-on. Right now, let's talk about packing the suitcase. So I have some packing cubes. All right, I have these two. These are not compression cubes. These are just cubes for organization. These are great. All right. I like the cubes. I like compulsion a little bit more, and I'm going to show you some in a minute. But what's great about these, it keeps things organized. So you can get things like these in different colors. So if you have multiple children or you're just trying to keep stuff separated from you and your spouse, your person, what have you, you can always go, oh, I'm blue, I'm the red, I'm whatever, and there's no guessing. Now, compression cubes. This is my compression cube. My husband's are black, my daughters are blue. So when they get mixed into suitcases, there's no guessing on, oh, that's pink. That belongs to mom, to Christy. Um, so this is a set I bought on Amazon. The brand is called Gonex, Gonex. Not terribly expensive, maybe like 25 for the set that I got. So compression cubes do what they say they're going to do. They compress all your stuff. But that doesn't mean they have unlimited supply. It's not like Hermione's bag on Harry Potter, where it holds a library. Wouldn't that be great if that existed? Anyway, but this is the good one. There's some smaller ones. So there's another size, a little bit, a little bit bigger, even smaller. This is really great for socks. This size. This is my software. This is another, it's kind of a long skinny one. Ladies, this is good for that underwear, that sort of thing. Gentlemen, depending on what kind of underwear you wear again. This big one is really good for things like possibly dresses, shirts, that sort of thing. Now, compression cubes are great. They do, suck stuff in, but that doesn't make your weight any less. Okay, if anything, it can make it heavy. These are like a brick once they're all compressed. So if you get compression cubes, which I do recommend, just remember, is it going to hold your entire wardrobe? Probably not unless you buy a lot of compression cubes, especially some of the big ones. If you're going into a cold environment and you need things like sweatshirts, fleece, those are a little harder to compress. Not possible, just a lot harder. And they might could take up one. So use your compression cubes wisely. The other thing with compression cubes, I think I may have said this, if you overstuff them, pop them. I haven't done that. I've been very wise with my compression cubes, but they can pop. So um, just be careful on the compression cubes not to overstuff them. Plan accordingly. When this giant one is full and compressed, it really can take up almost half the side of a suitcase, depending on the size of your suitcase. So keep that in mind. Now, the negative to a compression cube, depending on what you put in there, it's going to be wrinkled when it comes out. So if you're trying to bring something with you, something a high-end piece of clothing that needs to stay nice and unwrinkled, maybe you're not going to have a steamer or an iron where you're going. Just keep that in mind on your compression cubes. You do run the risk of wrinkles. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of just for strolling around the city. So these next are all the same brand. It's called PacSafe. And PacSafe is exactly what you think. It's safe. You can see this. Now, These are not cheap. They're not cheap. And I bought these. We were going to a country that had a little bit of a reputation for more pickpockets and purse thieves and things like that. And I wanted to be safe. So this is my bag. Again, it's kind of a is gray. None of my bags that I carry every day are gray. But again, I want something that blends in, doesn't just pop. So what I love about the Pack Safe brand, first of all, you can't tell from in here, but this is anti-cut material. Inside this entire bag, it's got little metal threads running through it. So if they try to come up, and this is a technique if you're wearing a backpack, thieves will come up and slash the bottom, just let your stuff fall out. You don't even know it's falling out until you're gone. This cannot be cut with a regular knife or scissors. Okay, so I like that. This particular bag that I bought for ladies, it can be modified to be a backpack. You can take this and run it through here. I never wear it like that. I have. It's not my favorite. And it can be worn as a crossbody, which is my favorite. Now, this bag can be folded down to be like this. It there's a magnet in here. Y'all, I leave mine straight up like this. Crossbody, just not doing a good job here. Just gonna strangle myself for a minute. If you don't mind. Anyway, I wear, like a big study. Now, ladies, I encourage you, if you don't want to buy this brand, that's fine. Wear a crossbody when you travel, because if they try to yank it, it's going to be really hard to be yanked. They may pull you down, but your bag still is going to be with you. But just a few features on these. If you notice, I have a little zipper. Now, these are heavy duty zippers. So when I say there is right here, this little ribbon, and I take this doohickey and I put it through here like so. So if I set my purse down and somebody tries to unzip it, it's not going to unzip. That helps. Also, when you get up in here, this one, if you notice, they have these little things. I can hook them together. So same thing. If they try to unzip, it's not going. Also, when I unhook this, if you notice, I can't get this open. So I have a little mechanism here. You have to flip it to the side and then you can unhook it. Okay. It's a lot of safety features. Also inside this bag, which more and more things are doing it, more and more companies are doing this. It has an RFID pocket. All right, so you can put passport, credit cards. So somebody with the little, not a thief, so I don't know, the skimmers or whatever comes through, they can't just skim your card. We also have a small backpack. I will also tell you, if you saw my other video about things I travel with on my airplane, my blackish gray water bottle, it actually will fit in here standing up. Okay, so this will hold a water bottle. This one is a backpack my husband had, and has, I should say, which are a lot smaller, as you can see. Same material as the other one. It also has that RFID safety feature in there. It has pretty much the same features. It has that, handle, the clip. It won't come down unless I change it. What's great about those is if you're at a restaurant somewhere, you can unclip it, put it around the leg of your bench, your chair, and clip it back. So again, you're not just leaving it sitting on the ground where somebody can just run away with it. If they do, they're taking you with them, which might not be a pretty sight, but it's a safe sight. And the last thing you want to do in a foreign country is lose a passport. Money is annoying to lose. Do not get me wrong, but the passport, you do not want to lose your passport. There's also another one here that I honestly, you have to really move these little clippy things away to get this out. I was really frustrated on one trip. I had to make my husband do it. This does have a water bottle on the side to hold a water bottle. However, this one is not very large. This would hold like the, plastic water bottle that you get at the grocery store. But my giant one that I prefer, it will not fit in here. So when we carry this backpack, honestly, this is the holder of the water bottles for the most part. So our water bottles are extremely secure in here. But this is a great size for water bottles, snacks, that sort of thing. Then we have another one last pack safe bag. And as you can see, it's a lot bigger. Again, it has the RFID blocker. This one has a big sleeve in here for computers and that sort of a thing. It has another, oh my goodness, doesn't want to be friendly with, right? It has some other pockets and zippers in here. Now this bag, because of its style, if you notice, it actually opens up like this. Okay. So this is actually a good small carry-on. If you're traveling for maybe a short weekend, you don't want to bring a lot of clothes. You don't want to have to check a bag. As you can see, you have a little strap over here to, just keep a few clothes in, cute few toiletries, that sort of a thing. This one, kind of the same as the other one. It does have a water bottle holder. It's bigger than the other one I showed you, but definitely not huge. It does have the supportive strap that goes across the waist if you like that feature. Okay, so these are just a few of the bags we use. But now let's go see the bigger bags, the actual suitcases. I'm going to show you the ones that we use now. We've used a lot of different kinds over the years, but I have a very specific reason why I do use these now. So let's switch on over and go check this.
Had this one quite a few years now. This is actually our Rolly 2.0. The first one was also Samsonite. It does have this front pocket here where you can stash some things. To be honest, very seldom use it. It has pockets on both sides, and I'll tell you what's great about this. It has a clear, like, protective plastic coat, so if you do put something in here that leaks, it's very easy to clean, which makes it just, a wonderful little piece. Then we get into the inside. You also have some pockets right here that you can add things as well. This piece unsnaps if you need it to. You've got some more zippered pockets here and some more here in the back. So earlier I showed you my little makeup bag and my other bag, for toiletries. A lot of times these stuff kind of in here, and then I add more loose things as needed. Now, this is what I call my real luggage. This brand is called Away, and we use hard-sided. This is their large, this is their medium, and this is their carry-on, and I will open it up in just a minute. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Away is not an inexpensive brand. It is quite pricey. And they do have soft-sided now as well as hard-sided. And I'm going to tell you why we personally chose this brand. The Away brand, if you buy it through them, okay, you can't buy it used through Craigslist or something. If you buy it through them, it comes with a limited warranty lifetime. What's not covered is aesthetics. So as an example, you can see that this has a scuff. They're not going to cover a scuff, okay? But if your wheels break, the handle breaks, the zipper breaks, things like that, they will actually replace the pieces. They can send you a kit to replace the broken things, or if that's not a possibility, they will actually just replace your entire piece of luggage. And that is one of the reasons we went for this brand. If you've ever been to Florence, Edinburgh, parts of Rome, they are just one giant cobblestone. And we have actually had a suitcase lose a wheel in these cities. And there's nothing more frustrating than trying to wheel a suitcase with 3 wheels down cobblestones with, you're missing a wheel. Anyway, these turn, as you can see, they turn very well. They work really well. You can go into this mode as well. Another thing we like, you do have the locks here. These are TSA, and I just kind of wanted to show you. They do take a little bit of maneuvering to get into the proper place, but once you do, they're great. You can set your own combo. TSA can unlock it as well. Now, our large one we bought with the expander. You can buy it with or without the expander. Obviously, it costs a little bit more if you do the expander, but we did not do that on our medium and our carry-on. You do have this side handle as well, plus one on top. And on this medium and the large, as you can see, you have another handle on the bottom to grip with. easier to pick up. Now, this poor suitcase has actually been to the Amazon jungle, and as you can see, it is still intact. Has some scuffs. I don't care about scuffs, but it's great. They actually do send with these a small laundry bag along with a scuff remover. You don't use them. They also come with its own luggage tag, and they're nice. They're pretty heavy duty. Now, I'm going to talk about luggage tags in just a minute because you notice over here I have a Donald Duck one, of course. Now, in the carry-on when I put it up on the table, if you buy this with the expander and you choose to expand it, it is no longer going to be a carry-on. Okay, so we chose not to buy that. That way we don't have to worry about it. So on one side, as you can see, you have this area that just zippers shut. This is the great side for those compression bags, things like that. But on this side, again, you have your opening, but it actually comes with a compression pad. And what's great about this is you fill it up, how you need to fill it up. You put this thing on, you put your, I have lost all my ends here. You clip your ends together and you can suction it in and it will push it down even further. So the Away bag gets my vote for the volume, the limited lifetime warranty, again, is such a big sell on this. And again, sorry, there's my dog in the shot there. Some of you are like, I don't want to spend that much on a suitcase, because you're going to go check their website out. It's awaytravel.com. You're going to go check their website and you're going to be like, you spent that, what, for luggage? We have gone through a lot of suitcases in our day, and I'm done. I don't have to buy any more unless someone steals it. Hopefully that won't happen, because they're covered. And so that is something that I just want to stress with this particular brand. There are other high-end brands. Monos, I think, Tumi is another brand as well. These also get really good reviews in the travel industry, but personally I like this. Now, we also go with hard-sided. And some of you are like, you don't want hard-sided. I get it. I understand it. This is a great shell. I will tell you why we switched to hard-side. We had a flight that was delayed a few hours because of weather one time. And when I say weather, I mean downpouring, thunderstorm, rain, that sort of a thing. And then we got on a flight for 14 hours and then, another 2 hours to get to our hotel. And we opened our suitcases and had wet clothing because our suitcases had been sitting outside on the tarmac in the rain, and the soft side, it got wet. And that's kind of frustrating when you're like, I just want to put my pajamas on, but no, I can't because they are wet. So this is why we did go to the hard side. Haven't regretted it yet. It's been great for bringing back breakables and that sort of a thing. Now, I wanted to show, I showed this earlier, you have your telescoping handle, and sorry, that's our skeleton Bob. Don't you have a skeleton in your house? That's a totally normal thing, right? Bob has been a fixture in our home now for many, many years, so he's what it is. As you can see, this suitcase also has that little sleeve. So what I want to show you, sorry about that, is I can put it on top and roll it like that. It's just so much nice when you're going around a city, and instead of having to roll 2 bags, you roll 1. And I will tell you why this one is so good for this. This little rolly only has 2 wheels. And it may seem strange, but when you're trying to roll a 4-wheeled bag and a 2-wheeled bag in individual hands, it's hard to keep that in sync. So this is very handy, so that way it's kind of a one roll. Now, I was in Europe for a little while, kind of without my husband, and so I had these 2. But as I said earlier, I ran out of room. So I raised this handle right here, and I brought my foldy, and of course it's not filled, but I just wanted to show you, and I may have looked a little silly, but I didn't really care. And voila, now I have 3 bags all in a row. And I did hold this handle, of course, because that's getting to almost, that is about my height right there, maybe a little shorter, but That is very handy for rolling. And as you can see, these wheels, they're wonderful. They pivot all the way around. They're double, very hardy, and you can tell they've been used. So my hands are gonna have a good washing after this little video. So this is the luggage that I recommend. And do we always take all of these on every trip we go? Absolutely not. Okay, they have their time and their place for when they get used. And we're getting ready to actually do another one of this size. And if you notice, it's hard to tell on this one because it's on the table, but all of my luggage pieces are green. And I will tell you why they're green in just a minute.
Okay, so why did I pick green luggage? So if you've ever been to the airport and you are at the luggage carousel and you are waiting for your bag to come down, how many of those bags are black? Most of them. Now, there's nothing wrong with a black bag. I've had black luggage forever, honestly, until I started buying my away luggage. But I did pick green on purpose. I like the color, but also it's just easier for me to pick out. I know my color, and I'm not going to see those colors as often as I'm going to see the black. So instead of waiting, is that my black bag? Because how many times do you walk into the casero, you grab the bag, oh wait, that's not. I don't really have to do that anymore, and that makes it so much easier. So I wanted to talk about luggage tags as well. My away bags all came with a luggage tag and they are pretty sturdy. I have yet to lose one yet, but you notice the other one had a different luggage tag. I forgot to put the away one on. I still have it in another bag. I have a lot of spare luggage tags. I get them from my husband's work. Vanderbilt's Disney. I have a lot from Disney. Luggage tags fall off or they break. The little rubbery piece, that you attach it to, those over time get stressed and they will break and you'll lose your luggage tag. And so I have a stash just in the event that happens. And of course, anytime you go to an airport, they can get you a paper tag. It's not a big to do. Some people have got to what they do, time with the black bags, they will, put a ribbon around the handle of the bag, to make it distinguishable. Here's the problem. Those also break. They come untied. They get lost. Your plane gets your luggage gets jostled a lot. Okay. And some airlines are rougher than others. Some countries are rougher than others. So that's why I recommend either getting more colorful luggage, if that's your thing. If not, getting a luggage tag that stands out. The Disney one obviously stands out. I used to have one that said, it was like hot pink and it said, "This is not your bag." And it fell off, it got lost, so I don't have it anymore. So I recommend, a really flamboyant luggage tag or some colorful luggage. If you are colorblind, I would recommend if the color thing is not going to work for you, something with a catchy tune or catchy phrase, excuse me, on that luggage tag is helpful. Also, you can buy luggage with prints on them as well. And they make these almost like a sleeve that you can go over your luggage. I have seen people do that. I personally have not, so I can't comment on how effective they are. You can get them printed with, custom made with anything. You can get them with your face on them, if that's your thing. But anyway, I hope these examples of luggage, some of the different sizes, the large bag that I showed you, we don't use those on every trip, especially if I am by myself, because the reality is once that is full, I am not the best at picking that up. Rolling it is fine, but if I have to pick it up, put it up on the bed, no, it's gonna have to lay flat on the floor. It's just too heavy for me personally. The medium is about where I'm best at. And then of course the carry-on is fantastic if you just want to bring a carry-on bag as well. Hopefully some of the other little bags I will do will, give you some ideas of some things you can also use when you're traveling, whether you're on an airplane, whether you're on a boat, whether you're on a plane, whether you're in your car. These suitcases have been on so many modes of transportation and they've done exceptionally well over the years. So, pick a bag that is going to last. It can be an investment piece for you, especially if you're just starting out with your traveling. I can't say enough about having good and decent bags for traveling. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching. Happy traveling.